Welcome to Visual Basic. This is your 3.1 program. Talks about creating a calorie counter and kind of a health calculator for fat, carbohydrates, protein, keeping track of these things. And you will recreate this, so you can pause this and go back and forth. We'll show you the code. I've taken the liberty of setting this up according to what they're saying here. So let's read through the 3.1. This is in your book as well. Create a project that calculates the total fat, carbohydrate, and protein calories. So we're going to allow the user to enter in text boxes, and we're going to talk about the difference between a text box and a label, the grams of fat, the grams of carbohydrates, and the grams of protein. So they will enter here, here, here. And then they give us, and we're going to have to use this in code. Fat contains 9 calories per gram, protein and carbohydrates each contain 4. So we'll deal with that in the coding. Display the total calories for the current food item. Oops. So we'll display those here in a text box. Oh, and here's the total calorie. We're actually going to show each of those. We're going to show the total calories here. Display the total calories for the current food item in a text box. Use 2 other text boxes to display an accumulated sum of the calories. So maybe we're doing a whole day's worth of entries here. And a count of the items entered. So this would go from I entered 1 item, 2 items, 3 items. Okay, so I noticed there that I didn't name this appropriately yet, but we're going to have a calculate button. The form should have 3 text boxes for the user to enter grams of each category, include labels next to each text box indicating what the user entered. So here's my labels that they talked about. Include buttons to calculate, clear the text boxes, and we're not going to do print form, but we are going to have an exit. Make the form's text property calorie counter, and you will see I made the form's text property 3.1 by PSN, Purple Shirted Nerd. You'll just do yours as 3.1 rather than calorie counter. If you want, you could put a label up here that says calorie counter. And code, write the code for each button. Make sure to catch any bad input data. We'll talk about that one. That's new. And display a message box. We'll talk about that one as well. If we have a challenge there. So one thing I want to point out, I'm not going to refer to these in code. These are just for the viewer to see. So I did not bother changing that name, as you can see over here, from label 1, label 2, label 3. There's label 7, label 5, label 3, did I have a label 3 already? Label 4. Anyway, so I'm not referring to these in code, but these guys I'm going to refer to in code. So I've got this one as TXT fat, TXT for text box carbs, TXT calories. That one should be protein. Do I have these backwards? Okay, so I'm going to go, I need to make this TXT protein. I did this earlier and I must have had a mistake there. So this is TXT protein. Let's see. TXT F calories, TXT C calories, TXT P calories. Let's see. This one I did not rename, so this should be maybe TXT item calories. I didn't get through that yet. Let's see what we've got here. TXT total calories, TXT number of items, we'll call it. Notice I recapitalized each new word, number of items. Let's see, this should be like BTN calculate, got it, BTN clear, and BTN exit. So once we have that set up, and it'd be a good time to pause and make sure you get yours set up the way this is. Once we get that set up, the user's going to run this. The user's going to enter values here, grams, I don't know, 12 fat grams, carbohydrates 16, and protein 5. And then when we hit this calculate button, we should be able to convert this to 12 times 9, because it says 9 calories for each gram, 16 times 4 and 5 times 4, because as you can see over here, that's our conversion. So let's just take care of that right now, because that's going to be new. There's going to be more things we're going to do in the calculate button, but let's just take care of that. So if I double click calculate, I'm going to want to grab grams out of here, multiply it by 9, and put that result in here. So I'm going to do that. So here's my BTN calculate. Again, you would put your normal 3 remarks here. Your name, 3.1, and then a date here. So button calculate. Here is the deal, and this is new to chapter 3. I'm going to need a variable to hold the value in here. So I'm going to create a variable, and that variable is probably going to be an integer. I'm going to assume that we're not going to use decimals in here. I mean, we're already down to grams, so pretty small unit. So I'm going to go ahead and do what's called dimension of variable, DIM. And you notice Visual Basic recognizes that. I can hit tab. And I'm going to call this one integer, so INT, much like LBL. So this is an integer, and I'm going to have this be, this would be for our grams of fat. So I'm just going to go integer fat grams as integer. So what that's doing is it's allocating storage space. This green underline is just telling me, hey, you've got this variable you've created and you're not using it yet. I'm allocating storage space, and they're expecting to receive a value that's an integer and hold it in here. So now I've got to pull that value out of this text box. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to go int fat grams equals txt, my text box, fat.text. So this is going to hold whatever value was in this text box. Let's say I put in 12 grams of fat. It's going to, INT grams is now going to be that text. It's going to be 12. Okay. I'm going to need another integer. Dim INT for, I'm going to multiply that INT fat grams times 9. So I'm going to go ahead and go int, I'll call it fat calories as integer. And I could actually do this all in one line. We'll talk about that momentarily. So I'm going to go int fat calories equals 9. Remember the 9 over here. 9 calories for every gram of fat equals 9 times that shift 8 int fat grams. So I multiply, so the int calories is now holding 9 times int fat grams. And now I have to put it into here. So txt f calories. So I'll put it right back up here. txt f calories dot text. See, that's an item on the form. It has a text property equals int fat calories. So I grabbed the number of grams, multiplied by 9 to get the number of calories, and now I'm putting the number of calories into text. Let's check that one out. So if I have 5 grams of fat multiplied by 9, when I hit calculate, I ought to get 45 calories here. Okay? Got it. So we'll repeat those for carbohydrates times 4 and protein times 4. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up here. I've got int fat grams. I'm going to go comma int carb grams. I'm going to do comma int carb calories, and I'm basically going to repeat what I just did there. I'm going to go int carb grams equals what's in txt carbs dot equals the text property of that control or object on the form. I'm going to go int carb calories equals 4 times the number of grams, carb grams. And in txt carb calories, I got lazy, I probably could have called that carb calories. In its text property, I'm going to put in that result I got, int carb calories. We'll run that. Let's say I've got 4 grams of fat, 6 grams of carbohydrates, should end up with 36, 24. Got it. Let's complete that for protein. So int protein grams and int protein calories. I'm going to repeat that. Notice I leave a white space in between here. You don't have to do that, but I think it helps. So I need my int protein calories equals txt protein calories. Now, notice how that stays red if I do this, and that's because it's really asking us, what do you want about the text protein calories? We want its text property. What do we want about that text box? We don't want its font, so dot text. And let's see, int protein calories. Oh, hey, you might have caught this already. This is bad. This should be grams. If I was really proud, I'd redo this. And this should be txt protein grams. Where's our protein? Or txt protein. Got it. Protein.text. What's in that text box? Okay, now int protein, start over. Int protein calories equals what's in that text. What did we get? It's 4 times the number of protein grams. And then when I select it, I'm hitting tab after each of those. And finally, txt p grams, or p calories. Got lazy, should have been protein calories. Dot text equals int protein calories. So let's take a look. Let's see, 5, 6, and 7. Calculate should be times 9, 45, times 4, 24, times 4, 28. And it gave me an error. Let's see, int fat grams. Let's take a look. Individual. Ooh, you know what? Check what happened there. I'm glad I did it. I wish I could say I did it on purpose, but I'm glad I did it. I entered those in the wrong spaces. We're going to talk about that. So what did I have? 5, 6, 7 times 9, 45 times 4, 24 times 4, 28. And there we've got that working for us. Okay. So I'm going to take this moment right now to talk about the problem with text boxes. I want the user to enter things here, but I don't want the user to be able to go in and put things here. So let's address that. I only want the user to be able to enter values here and not in these text boxes, and I have 2 options. I could have made these all be labels, Labels the user can't type over. But I also could go back, take all of these that the user should not be able to type into, and set their read-only property. Watch this one, read-only property to true. And I think you guys know what read-only is. We're not allowed to type in there. And it gives us a different background. So now when I run this, I go 3, 4, 5, calculate. I can't come in here and change those. I'm trying to type over them. I can't delete it. Okay, so read-only text boxes. Nice thing about them is that they set up, they got the little border around them already. So you could have used labels, but I went with text boxes. It's got kind of a nice clean look to it. Okay, so what do we need now? We need the item calories, like the total number of calories in this item. I need to add those values up. And since it's going to be an integer plus an integer plus an integer, I need another integer for our item calories. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into calculate. I'm going to go ahead and go dim int item calories as integer. And at this point, after I've figured out the calories of fat, the carbohydrates, and the protein, after I figured out all of those, I can go ahead and say int item calories equals int fat calories plus int C calories, carb calories, plus int protein calories. Now, if I tried to run this right now, it would calculate the int item calories, but remember, it wouldn't put them here. I need to put that into txt item calories. So there's a lot going on in this program. Txt item calories. What about it? Its text property should equal my variable int item calories. Let's test it. I'm going to make it really simple little numbers here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Calculate. 8, 9, that's 17, and 12, 29. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's see if I change this to 10. Calculate. 90, 98, that's like eating well, there's protein in it. I was going to say that's like eating an Oreo. 98, 110. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Okay, so a couple things left to do. I still need a clear button. We'll come back to that, but I need to get the grand total calories and the number of items entered, and there's a little bit of a challenge for that. I have to dimension variables up here, and I'll explain the difference of why we have to do that versus variables down here. So I'm going to go private int integers again, total calories, and int total items as integers. All right, here's the deal. This is an important one. This is called the scope of a variable. These variables are initialized when the button is clicked. We work with them. We're done with them. When we hit end sub, these lose their values. They're gone. These variables, dimensioned up here as privates, integers. What do I have going on here? I'm sure it says, as integer. Sorry, not integers. Okay, these variables up here maintain their value for the duration of this program. And because they're going to change, this is going to increase every time, I can't afford to lose its value. So I'm going to calculate, I'm going to get an item's calories here, and then I need to add that into the variable that's being placed in this text box, in my total calories. We'll show you. I haven't done it yet, obviously. So if I get 2 and 3 and 5 and calculate, I need to take this 50 and add that into my total calories and put that into this text box. And I can't lose that value because when I enter the next one, if there's 100 calories here, I need to add that 100 into these 50 that are already in there. So if you have a variable that, for totaling purposes, or if you have a variable you want it to maintain its value forever, it should be dimensioned up here. These ones, I only need them for an instant, and I put the stuff back on the form. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go int total calories equals int item calories plus what was already in int total calories. Now that would be a challenge for us algebraically because we'd have this and this would cancel. But here's what this says. In my storage space, keep what used to be in there and add this new into it. And then we're going to put that into our txt, let's see, I've got one, total calories. Because I named it well, it's easy to find it here. Dot text equals int total calories. Let's see if that works for us. Into int calories, I take what was already stored in there from the last time I hit the button and add on our new number of calories. I place it in calories up there. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to run this. I've got a 3, 4, whoops, not there. I can't put it there. 3, 4, 5. I calculate. I got 63, and there's my total calories. And now I'm going to put a new item in there. 1, 1, 1, calculate. I don't have a clear button set up yet. Calculate. I've already got 63 total calories, 17 more, and there's my total of 80. All right, seems like that's working. So along the line, does it kind of make sense after I calculate? I get this. I might want to, I guess I'll just do that in the clear button. All right, so let's go ahead and take care of number of items entered. The number of items entered in total items is going to increase 1 every time I hit the calculate button. I need to add 1 to it, so it equals what it used to equal in total items plus 1. And I need to put that into my txt. Do I have a total items? Ooh, did I not do that one yet? Let's see. I'm going to go back here. txt number of items. Okay, txt, I forgot it, darn it. Number of items. Why is it not prompting me? I'm going to check again. txt number of items. I think it's going to be okay. txt number of items dot text equals int total items. Let's run this. And I'm going to go 1, 1, 1, calculate. Didn't like this. What do I have here? Int protein grams. Did I spell something wrong? Stop this. Start again. I think it's not going to like it again, but I think I grabbed. I'll bet you've seen it. We got it here. Huh, I wonder why that happened. There might have been a lag. So there's 1 item. If I hit it again, 2 items, 3 items, 4 items, 5 items. So for whatever reason, that's working now. All right, let's talk about our clear button. We're getting down to business now. But for my clear button, I think we want to clear this, 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 and this. I don't think we want to clear our totals up here. Seems like we would keep those running. So I got a bunch of text boxes to clear, just not these ones. So let's go ahead and hit clear, a bunch of text boxes to clear. So let's go txt protein, I want that one cleared. I'll go in order. Carbs, I want that one cleared. Dot clear. TXT, fat, I want that one cleared. Dot, clear. TXT, fat calories, actually carb calories I want cleared. TXT carb calories, dot, clear. It's just my totals I don't want cleared. TXT fat calories, dot, clear. TXT, my item calories, I want that one cleared. That's my total item calorie. So item calories, dot, clear. My TXT, the number of items I don't want cleared. That's my total number, but I do want P calories, dot, clear. TXT protein, I want that one cleared. TXT total calories, I want total calories. Do I have a total calories is up here? I don't, oh yeah, total calories, I don't think I want that one cleared. Let's see what we've got. I've got so many things going on. No, I do not want to start back up. I want to delete that thing that I had here, and now I want to run. So let's populate our board. Calculate. So clear, I think the only things I don't want clear are those. And I clear, and I got them. Now, the user's probably going to click here next. Probably going to click right here next and enter more grams. So I'm even going to anticipate that for the user. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, that's TXT, something to do with that. TXT that dot text. Nope. Dot set focus. Let's see what we got. Ooh, that gives me, it doesn't like that. Let's see, what do we have here? There's TXT fat. Dot, that used to be the command, set focus. I wonder if we have a new, if I just go dot focus. Okay, focus. Let's try that one. So we start here. I populate. I calculate. Now when I hit this clear button, hopefully it sets the focus right up to here so I can immediately enter my next value, and there we go. I didn't have to click up here. So that's kind of a nice thing to do. Only thing else I'm going to do on this video, and there's going to be a part 2, is I'm going to take care of my exit button. That's our favorite, and that is an end. So kind of to preview, things we're going to do is we're going to keep this from being able to happen on the next video. If I enter something other than a number there right now, I risk having the problem the program break down. And we'll talk about how we prevent that from happening with what's called a try-catch statement. So that's a biggie, and I believe that's pretty much what we're going to dedicate the next shorter video to, but I wanted to get this thing out to you as soon as I could. So there will be a 3-1 part 2 available for you shortly. You can go ahead, you will have this copied, it's part of your assignments. If you can do this one, I guarantee you should be in really good, if you can understand this one, you'll be in really good shape moving into the other Chapter 3 assignments. Good luck, let me know how I can help.